Hey, what's going on, guys? H-Dub here, back with another Raid Shadow Legends video, and this is part 2 of how to raid. And today we're going to be talking about what to do after you complete the tutorial to set yourself up for fast progression. Now, the tutorial gives you a bit of information, tells you where to go in the game to equip gear, where your champions are, the index, so forth and so on. Once you start progressing the levels a bit, it'll tell you about the tavern, it'll tell you about pulling shards, and other aspects of the game. But before we completely get into champions, how to get them, and everything that you can do in this game, let's talk about the first thing that you should be doing. You want to complete the normal campaign as fast as you possibly can, because there are lots of resources here that can help you to progress your account. You're going to be getting gems, you're going to be getting energy, you're going to be getting brews, which can be used at the tavern, you're going to be getting shards, which can be used to get you more champions. And so you want to make sure that you complete it, and more importantly, you want to make sure that you are 3-starring it. A lot of people don't know this because it is written very small here, but it says to get 3 stars. Well, it doesn't say it plainly, but it says 3 stars, 2 or fewer champions, no losses, right? And this is something that can be easily overlooked if you aren't looking at everything on the screen. There's a lot on the screen, a lot of things that can distract you. So just be mindful that you have to do this with 2 or fewer champions to get 3 stars. Now, this triangle up here is very important. It tells you about affinity, and affinity is something that matters a lot in this game, right? So we have magic affinity champions, spirit affinity champions, force affinity champions, and void affinity champions. Now, void affinity champions can't land a weak hit on any other champion of any other affinity, right? And what I mean by a weak hit is you attack a champion and it does a fraction of the amount of damage it would normally do based on that person being negative or positive affinity, right? Your opponent being negative or positive affinity to you, right? If your opponent is positive affinity, you actually have an extra 15% chance to do a critical hit, which means in dungeons or on certain bosses, if you have a champion that is positive affinity, you can actually build them with lower crit. You can build 85% crit and be good on the starter champion. That means you're going to be able to build them with 70% crit and be good. Now, spirit beats force, force beats magic, magic beats spirit, right? So if you have a spirit champion and you are going against a bunch of people that are magic, the chances are you're going to land a lot of weak hits. If you have a magic champion and you're going against force champions, the chances of you landing a weak hit are great, and same for force and spirit. All right, so you always want to be paying attention to the affinity of your champions, because it's going to matter. But more importantly, 3-star the normal campaign as fast as you can, 3-star the hard campaign as fast as you can, and if you can make some headway to brutal, do so, but it is very unlikely within the first week or so unless you pull a great champion or you get your champion to 5 stars, which we're going to talk about next, that you are going to do so. Which leads me to my next point. You want to max out your starter champion as fast as you can, right? So you want to be completing that normal campaign and you want to be maxing out your starter champion. So we have a Kale here. We have him in the lifesteal set that you get when you first log in the game. So you're going to log in for a week straight, get those good login reward lifesteal pieces. You're going to level those up with the missions. Now, we're not going to talk about missions on this video. That's going to be the next video, but you want to adhere to what the missions are telling you to do, because if you get ahead of them, you'll have to go back and do things again, spending extra resources, which you don't want to do because resources are very scarce in this game if you intend to not swipe that card to get them. All right, so you want to make sure that you are investing in your starter champion as much as possible, because as you progress through the campaign, these things are going to get more difficult to complete, especially if you are trying to 3-star them, and it's going to be difficult to do with Kale and, you know, the uncommons that you get. You do get war priests, you do get some other farmable rare champions, and what I mean by farmable is you can get them from the campaign. So quickly we can just look at it at Carrot Castle. You can get Valerie, she's a rare, and you can also get Conqueror, he is a rare champion. From Sewers you can get a Skull Sworn, right, so forth and so on. Each stage in the campaign has different farmable rares that you are able to get where you don't have to pull shards to get them. Okay, so every stage you want be wanting to take advantage of that, being able to get some of those rare champions that you can either use for certain aspects of the game or you can use as chickens to level up other champions, because you need champions or chickens to rank up other your champions that you actually want to use. So quick tip, quick wrap up: complete the campaign, complete normal, complete hard, but it's going to require you to level up your starter as much as you can. Try to get them to 5 stars if you're using Kale, Aethel, Elhain, whoever. Get them to 5 stars at least. As you can see, I have a 5-star Kale here, and on day 7 the other day I was able to 3-star the brutal up to the brutal campaign and get all of those resources. Luckily I did pull some other champions that helped me, because you're gonna need 2 viable champs in order to do this, one being your starter, one being a champion that you either pull or level up from campaign. Maybe you get lucky there and you use a champion from there, but however you want to do it, that is on you. Just make sure they are at least level 50 to give yourself the best chance. It's very difficult to do with level 40 champions, especially if they don't have masteries, which we will also talk about later. But until next time, guys, I've been H-Dub. Thank you for watching. I hope this video helps you. Be good and be well.